Right. So, hello. My name's Ellie. And basically, I am on a journey. This is the journey that I am on. I don't know if you can see that. But after many doctor's appointments, struggling, blood tests, God knows what else, I was listened to by my doctor. So basically, my doctor's put me on a tablet which is called Orlistat. And for anyone that doesn't know what that is, because I had no bloody idea what that was before I did this, Orlistat is basically a weight loss aid / fat burner. What Orlistat does is it burns off 1/3 of the fat that you consume in your food. So I had like so many appointments with my doctor where I've tried every diet in the book, and though yes they work briefly, I found that my weight was just really fluctuating up and down all the time. It was like at one of the slimming clubs that you go to, you know what I'm talking about. My weight was sort of going, first week lose 12 pounds, wow. The second week maintain. The third week put on ½ pound. The fourth week lose ½ pound. The fifth week, do you know what I mean? So it's just sort of like a constant limbo of on off. And I was starting to get really fed up. Like, my clothes wouldn't fit me, or my clothes would fit me and I just look shit. And I couldn't walk into a normal shop and just buy clothes, and that was one of the things that I've struggled with for a long time, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to act the victim, because like I didn't just wake up like a balloon. I've obviously, like, it's through my own doing. But yeah, after 26 years, that's how old I am, I had like a realisation that I actually need to go to doctors and that I need some help, I need some guidance, because I've been on high blood pressure tablets since I was about 19, 20, so it's a long time. For a young person, that's not really something that you want. So yeah, whilst I was at uni, I lost some weight on that slimming club that we were just talking about. And I managed to come off them, and then as I come home, it sort of slowly crept up. So in the past 4.5 years, I've put on about 3 stone, which is a fair amount, you could say. But I'm now doing something about it. So I went to my doctors and said, look, I need your help. I'm being told, like, yeah, your blood pressure's high, losing weight will help that, and that's all I get told. And I know it's like pretty easy to do your own research, but some things are just, from my experience, obviously not everyone's going to have this same thing, but from my experience, ease, convenience, things are just easier to just pick up, bang in the microwave or bang in the oven and just eat. So that's when we get to this. So I had about 5 doctor's appointments. They were doing like various tests, like PCOS and stuff. Like I had an ultrasound scan just to see if that could have been a reason why I wasn't losing weight. Thankfully it wasn't. I'm really grateful for that. And yeah, the doctor decided to put me on this bad boy. And this is Orlistat. It's got my address on it. I best blur that, wouldn't I? Surely. Yeah, so doctors put me on Orlistat, and as I think I explained earlier, that is a weight loss aid, a fat burner. Not everybody gets put on it, I'm pretty sure. So I'm feeling very grateful, and I know that it also doesn't work for everybody. So, you know, this is just speaking from my experience. I would recommend it to anybody from my personal experience, but it is obviously down to your doctor or whoever, whether they decide to put you on it. I have lost my notes. Oh no. Okay, anyway, I can freestyle this. So, the tablets look like this. The little blue things. And you basically take one with every meal. I would have loved a video like this when I started, because there is not a lot of information online about this. Excuse me, I don't know, like, I do know, like I say, they don't put everybody on it by the sounds of it, because from what I've learned, it's quite expensive to put on through the NHS. But essentially it burns a third of the fat you consume. However, they don't tell you how much fat that you're allowed per day, per meal, per week, per whatever. So for me, I found this is all about completely about self-discovery, self-research. So I'm going to just basically chat through all the things that I found really useful. I'm filming this in December of 2022, and I've been on these tablets since the start of October, so I've been on it a while now. So yeah, I'd first say go online, NHS website, there's a little bit about it. The only advice I was given by my doctor, and she's great, it's not her fault, but is that basically if you eat too much fat, you'll have crippling diarrhea, is what was explained to me. So yeah, made me feel really anxious and really worried to start taking it, because I was like, what if I'm out somewhere and I just shit myself? Do you know what I mean? So excuse the language, I'm very like, it just slips out. See, I was really apprehensive about it, and so I went online on Facebook actually, and just typed in like Orlistat, just to see if there was anything on there, like a page, or I don't know. Lo and behold, I found a page, and there's about 15,000 people on it, and it is absolutely brilliant. It is sort of like your weekly slimming club that you'd go to, and everybody would sit around the table, and you know, but not. It's better than that, much better. So yeah, it's like Orlistat support group or something like that. If you go on Facebook, you'll find it. It's the one with like 15k people in it, and I found that's been my biggest help. I also downloaded the NutriCheck app. My friend from work suggested that to me a little while ago before I even started it, and hands down, it's the best thing ever. It's basically like a calorie counting app, but this one, and I'm sure you can use others. I mean, I don't use others, so I don't know, but on this one you can set to view only certain things. So I've got mine set to view fat content, so I know that if I don't know, I scan a pack of crisps, for example, in Tesco's, it's going to tell me how many grams of fat in it. Obviously you can look at the packaging, that's quite a common thing, but to log things, I'm very visual. I need to log things for me to be accountable for myself. So yeah, really recommend that. I know a lot of people use MyFitnessPal, so that's another option to go for. But again, it's all my experience, all my opinions. I'd say NutriCheck is pretty good. Yeah, do not, and I repeat, do not go over 15 grams of fat per meal. So like I said, you take one tablet per meal. Each meal has to be below 15 grams of fat. So one of the things that I've seen flying about in that group a lot is 15 grams isn't a target. It's not, you have to reach that. If your breakfast is lower than 15 grams fat, that's not a problem. You just don't want to go over that, because that will land you in big trouble. I know. I made the mistake. So yeah, just don't do it. And I think that, like every group, there are probably some people on there who are just starting out, and there maybe some people take it really serious, some people don't. I do see a lot of posts on there. What's the best option to have from the Chinese? What's the best option to have from the Indian? What's the best kebab choice? There isn't a best kebab choice. There isn't a best China. There isn't anything. For me, again, this is all like I'm just spilling out my guts basically about what my experience is. Just stay clear of it. Just don't do it. If you're that serious about losing the weight, and they'd probably only put people on it who really, really need to for health benefit reasons, I would say just steer clear. Just steer clear until you're nearer your goal, and you know that you could do that and not backtrack, because that's happened way too often. Like in a slimming club before, I would like have a treat every week, and it'd be like a takeaway with my friends, but I'm like, I feel like I'm defeating the object by doing that, because then I've sort of set myself back a day, if you know what I mean. So that'd be my best advice, probably, is just don't. Somebody who is serious, I think you won't probably miss the having the Chinese every week or every month, or however people do it. Yeah, I had a conversation with my doctor that really sort of shook me up about the future, and basically if I continue to put on weight, like, things will just go downhill, and I didn't want that. I'm young, you know. So yes, so a lot of self-discovery, a lot of research. Join all the groups. There's also a WhatsApp group within this group that I've joined. People throw out so many good meal ideas and stuff. I haven't really changed much about my diet, really. From following a certain slimming club for a lot of my life, probably since I was about 15, 16, it's just ingrained in me anyway to eat lower fat. I've never really... if I cook with mince, I cook with 5% fat, not 20% fat, which I know people can cook with. That is an option. So I've never, really been into that. My problem was the snacking and eating out, or eating a takeaway, or for the convenience, McDonald's is on the way home, just get that. So yeah, it was steering clear away of that for me. And also really realising how much fat is in things. I had no idea. I wasn't somebody who sat and religiously looked at packets. They just weren't. I was just like, oh, I'm hungry, gonna go and grab something quickly, come home, eat it, done, go to bed, sort of thing. Yeah, you just don't realise. So today I had this meal deal sandwich from Tesco. It's a chicken triple, and as you can see up there, it's got 14.4 grams of fat. So for my lunch I had this, and that was the only thing I had with a Pepsi Max. I just kept it just for the purpose, just to show you that you can still have normal stuff. I think for me, because it was such like a common thing, I felt like grabbing a meal deal is quite a normal thing to do if you're in a rush and you need to. So I felt like I didn't want to not miss out. It's a whole learning journey, and my language will change as I go along, I'm sure. But going through the drive-through is an experience. I was like, oh, I feel like I need to go and do it. And I don't know why I felt like that, but I did. So yeah, as long as you check the packaging on things, you're going to be absolutely fine if you're going to be starting on Orlistat. So far, I have been on Orlistat for 10 weeks. And I've been keeping a little diary of just reflections, ideas, and I just want you to run through some of the things. I don't really know where this is going. I've never done a vlog before or a video or anything, but I just really feel like this is something that I was looking for. I found a lovely lady on YouTube who had done a little bit about this, but it could have been that back then, it was a few years ago, that the rules were different, because I learnt from her there was 19 grams of fat, and then I've learnt since years later, because things change, there's actually 15 grams of fat. So again, just do your research. The most common answer is probably the right one. But yeah, so basically just wanted to go through my diary a little bit, just to give you a bit more of a structured idea of what I'm talking about, because I feel like I'm sort of babbling on, but it's the best advice I can give from my experience. So yes, so let's have a look. So I've basically did a bit of research and wrote out what it is. So Orlistat is a medication that works by preventing about a third of dietary fat from being digested and absorbed. Any undigested fats will be passed through your stools. This is true. It's got to come out somewhere. If you're seeing bright orange oil, you've gone a little bit skew-iff somewhere. You don't really want to be seeing that bright orange, and it's bright. If you go wrong, it's bright. And if you're going wrong, you need to come off the tablet, because it's not going to help you. Yeah, so I just made a little note. This means I'll really need to adjust my diet to ensure I'm not consuming too much fat. And the doctor explained, if you do consume too much fat in a meal, then you'll be on the toilet with diarrhea. Sorry to tell you. So, how to reduce your fat intake. Change from butter to a low fat spread like Orlistat or any other alternatives. In my opinion, forget about butter. Forget that is a food that has ever existed, because it's basically made of fat, and it's so high in fat that you spread like 7 grams on your toast and you're at like 9 grams of fat. So if you really want it and you can't do without it, go ahead. But for my personal opinion, I've done without it now for 10 weeks and I've been okay, and I've not really missed it on jagged potato or toast. There's alternatives like Philadelphia Light. That's a really good alternative. Sometimes I'll have jam on a bagel for breakfast, because although yes, that's high in sugar, so if you've got to watch your sugar, then just be careful there. But yeah, choose lean cuts of meat and trim visible fat. Avoid skin on chicken or crackling on pork for obvious reasons. It's pure fat. It says I've written, avoid added fat / oil when cooking, or use a spray oil. I always use Orlistat, have done since who knows when. Choose low-fat dairy foods such as semi-skim milk, low-calorie yogurts, reduced-fat cheese and low-fat spreads. Again, Philadelphia. In Tesco, if you're from the UK and you have a Tesco, in my Tesco near where I live, they do a 50% less fat cheddar, which is nice. Still quite high in fat. I think we're at about 3.9 grams of fat for 30 grams of cheese, which I sometimes double. Like I might have cheese on toast or something just to give it a bit more. But yeah, just be careful that you're not going over. Digital scales will be your best friend, because I literally weigh and measure everything. What else have we got? Oh, increase your fibre intake was another thing that I found. So I've just made a note that fibre is needed in diet to help maintain a healthy digestive system. It fills you up and can also help raise cholesterol levels. Choose any high fibre breakfast cereals such as Weetabix, Shreddies or Bran Flakes. I love a bit of Weetabix or Shreddies, yum. Choose wholemeal breads, pita and brown rice. Include pulses, peas, beans and lentils if you like that sort of stuff. I don't really, but I just made a note of it, just so I had a bit of background, you know. Then, tips I've written. 2 tips. Stay under 15 grams of fat in each meal to avoid any accidents. On the Facebook page, all I read about was people themselves. That's all you see, which is why I was so nervous to start. As long as you don't go over 15 grams, you're not going to cheat. Okay? Before taking tablets, try to eat a low-fat diet 2 to 3 days before starting. This is what I did. And when I started taking them, I didn't experience anything straight away. So another thing I'd read was that you should probably start your low-fat lifestyle a few days before, so that there's nothing like high in fat left in your system, so that when you take the tablet, it's not gonna somehow, I don't know exactly how it works, I can't see in my stomach obviously to know, but whether it maybe sucks out the fat that's from the McDonald's you had 2 days ago sort of thing, you know. And also just to get you in the rhythm of eating low fat, just helps you. Then when you start taking it, you sort of got a bit of a head start. So breakfast ideas, I've got like wholemeal toast, 0.9 grams of fat, depending on what loaf of bread you get. I think bread with like seeds and nuts on is a little bit more, so just read the packets. Orlistat, for example, 10 grams is 2.8 grams of fat, and that's probably a really thin spread on a bit of bread. Strawberry jam, Philadelphia Light, baked beans and spaghetti, all on toast. Really nice, easy breakfast if you like that sort of stuff. And then you've got the obvious fruit. Just be careful of your sugars if that's something you also have to watch. Lunch ideas, a Warburton's thin with like ham and cheese, or ham and tomato, or a mugshot, ham and cream cheese bagel, or a pizza. So again, in Tesco, I'm like the advocate for Tesco today. In Tesco, they do like this barbecue chicken pizza, which I really enjoy, and you can have half of that for I think about 12 grams of fat. So what I sometimes do is I'll have half a pizza for dinner the night before, then save it for my lunch the next day. I work from home, so it's perfect for me to just shove it in the fridge. So yeah, dinner ideas, pizza and salad like I just mentioned, jacket potato, chili and rice, curry and rice, nuggets, soup, bread, that sort of thing. Again, all self-discovery. You might be a vegan, vegetarian, you might not eat the things that I mentioned here, but again, it's just like a bleh from me to you of all my ideas. So yeah, another thing is exercise. Obviously I know everybody's not able to, and I totally get that. Again, it's just my journey, I guess, what I'm sharing with you all. I joined the gym and the swimming pool close to where I live. I had not swam for years. I'm a good swimmer, but I've not done it for a long time. And I felt like I personally needed to tie in the exercise with the Orlistat, because my head is in a total different headspace now than it was when I was following the slimming clubs. Not to slander them, but it's toxic. So just, yeah. So on the 29th of September, oh, sorry, I just jogged you. On the 29th of September, again, I'm just reading my little diary. Me and my mum joined the swimming pool as members. So my mum isn't on Orlistat. She just wants to do the swimming to help her back. And our membership just gives us unlimited swimming, unlimited gym, 3 aqua classes a week. I do a bit of aqua and I swim every day. So just to give you an idea on what I'm doing. And I have done that ever since I started. I had a couple of weeks out where I had an injury and an ear infection anyway. So that was my schedule. So yeah, it was good to have like access to a different exercise, because I just kept running and thought I was loving it, but where it was so hard, I felt like I was at a bit of a like, oh, I just can't do it. So yeah, so me and mum did that. When we went swimming, the first ever time we went, we did either 12 or 14 lengths. I can't remember. What I can remember is when I went into the shower to wash my hair, I could not lift my arms above my head. It hurt that bad. Since then, so this was on the 30th of September this year. We're now on the 12th of December. I did 32 tonight in about half an hour, 40 minutes. So a massive improvement from the 12 or 14 in half an hour to the 30, the 32 or 34, whatever I just said, in 40 minutes. That's not half bad. So yeah. Oh, one thing I will say, it's just reminded me in this diary, I was not eating enough in the first 3-4 weeks. No way Jose was eating enough. Don't make that mistake. It's really hard, because you've got to do a lot of self-research and you've got to do a lot of thinking and a lot of doing, and you know. But I went from eating not normally, but it's not normal because it was bad in my opinion for me. I was just eating whatever I wanted whenever I wanted. If that was like a big pack of crisps, I'll just eat it as a snack. Obviously I can't do that anymore, and I don't want to do that anymore. But in this diary entry on the 2nd of October, I've put, I ate really well today, about 1200 calories, but I was very hungry. I was starving hungry for like 3 weeks. Because obviously you're just figuring it all out, that's going to happen. You're going to sort of, you know, overestimate and think, well, if I eat the most least amount of calories, then it's going to be fine. Try to stick to, so on the NutriCheck app, sorry, I'm just backtracking. You put your weight in, your height and blah, blah, blah. Gives you your calories. I set my app to that I want to lose £2 a week. So it gives me the calories to be able to do that. So to set amount of calories, you will lose £2 a week. And as you put your weights in every week, I weigh in every Monday. As your weight comes down, your calories obviously go down because you need less to maintain the energy or whatever. So yeah, try not to make that. It's not a mistake because it's all a learning journey, but try not to do that, because for the first 2 weeks I was like, I can't do this. I am starving. I cannot do this. So yeah. There we go. 3rd of October. Today, me and Mum went for a swim at 7 o'clock in the morning. I did 14 lengths, came home, had jam on a toasted bagel, 150ml of orange juice and a banana. But today marks the first day of taking Orlistat. There we go. So 3rd of October. I felt no side effects. Felt absolutely fine. I've put here, no side effects, but very hungry. Lol. So yeah. I was starting to do the gym and swimming in the morning before work. So like I say, I work from home. So I could get there and get back way before 8 o'clock, which was good. Yeah, so again, just going through this little diary. I just feel like, I've already said it, but this is what I would have looked for when I started. Somebody to give like an up-to-date sort of thing of, this is what I experienced, this is what I, just to give a bit of guidance, because you really don't get anything from your doctors. And I'm not the only person who said that. People in the group have said, like, I've just been put on this and given no advice, can you help? So this is my help. Yes. So annoyingly, my phone just went on like do not disturb mode, so I got cut off. I can't remember where I was now. What was I saying? Oh my god, what the hell was I saying? Oh, about the doctors not giving you no information. So that's why I'm doing this, basically. Yeah, so basically this sort of diary just is a lot of, I went swimming, I went to the gym, this is what I did, this is my reflection, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm getting to, I've got like a weighing page. I'm not going to show you because it's actually got my weight written down, not my start weight. And not even my boyfriend or my mum and dad know how much I weigh, so I ain't going to be sharing that online. So my first weigh in week 1, I lost 6.5 pounds. I'd obviously like gone for it, gone mad. So I lost a lot. I was heavier then, so the weight I think comes off a little bit quicker. So yeah, week 1, 6.5 pounds. Week 2, 3 pounds. Week 3, 3 pounds again, and week 4, 5 pound loss. I've got a little reflection here. A good first month on tablets. Do not, and I repeat, do not have a treat binge. I had this shit for 3 full days on my 4th week. Now let me tell you, it was Halloween, and me and my boyfriend we love Halloween. So we said we're gonna have like a proper, like, cozy Halloween film day. So I was like, let's go Tesco, let's get some snacks. And I, honest to God, I wish I'd have filmed it to prove it, but I haven't, so I can't. I got round choose randoms, because sweets obviously have sugar but they don't have fat. Or some sweets, I'm guessing, maybe some sweets do, I don't know. And some grapes. That was my intention, okay, for the day. My boyfriend was picking up Doritos, dips, chocolate biscuits, all the like stuff that I would have definitely normally have gone for. And he was like, babe, are you going to be alright? Like, I feel bad, so I'm going to be eating this and you're going to be eating that. And I was like, look, I am so dedicated to this. I don't want your snacks. That went downhill the second we walked back through the door. So we set up, and he had his snacks separate to mine so that I wasn't tempted. And I was like, oh, can I just have some of your Doritos? Just a couple. I mean, you can have 10 and that's it. Because he's like, he's been really supportive, and he's like trying to stop me because he knows what I'm like, and I know what I'm like. I've got no self-control. I did have no self-control before. 10 Doritos turned into half a bag and half a pot of dip. 8 chocolate digestives and half pack of Galaxy Counters. And I said, don't worry about it. I'll just deal with the consequences if I have any. If I have any. About 4 hours later, because bearing in mind, I'd also had my meals for that day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. Not low fat snacks. It got to about, yeah, like, it was night time. I had the, okay, trigger warning, TMI. I'm going to share this because this is the honest, God's honest truth. And if you are an Orlistat user, oh, that sounds like a drug problem. If you're on Orlistat, you're going to know. And if you've had an experience like this because you thought you'd be okay, I had, let's try not to be too vulgar, Ellie. my insides felt like they were falling out of me in water form. If that gives you a visual, I'm really sorry. I apologise. That's just the truth. The doctor was not joking when she said about it. Obviously, I took mine to the extreme. All my meals are fine, way under 15 grams. The snacks, I don't even like the Doritos dip that he had. It was a nacho cheese one. I've never had that in my life. I didn't even like it. But because I hadn't had anything so naughty for so long, I was just like, eh. Anyway, don't do that. Take my advice, please. You will thank me forever. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Then, week 5, £2.5 off. Week 6, £2 off. Week 7, £2.5 off. Week 8, £2.5 off. It's consistent. My reflection was, very chuffed, lost weight consistently now for 8 weeks, £27 in total. My current weight on the 28th of the 11th was blah, blah, blah. Proud of myself for avoiding temptation and making good choices. Hoping to be prescribed another month of tablets. So you have to go for like a monthly review where the doctors or the nurse, whoever, will weigh you every month and do a blood test, because from what I understand is that the tablets can be linked to liver issues. I don't know how common that is. I don't know. But yeah, they are apparently linked, which is why they do the blood test to make sure you're functioning properly. I went to doctors on the 8th week and I got given another box. She also told me that she's going to put it on repeat prescription for me for the next 3 months. So I was really chuffed. She was really chuffed with my progress. In the doctor's notes, I can see on my doctor's app on my phone, she's put like, Ellie seems really like ready and really eager to like keep going. So that was really good. And obviously I've proved by the weight loss that this is working for me as well, which is great. What I will say is the hard work, determination and sacrifices are so worth it. If you're serious about losing weight and you want it, you'll get it, hopefully. Then week 9, I lost £1. Last week, my mum kept buying these really nice looking crisps, and I'm a crisp girl, and I just kept snacking on them. Do not ask me why, because I had all the food that I needed, but I kept snacking on them every day within the fat, but still not the point. Calories. Because I think that could be why maybe my weight loss will slow down a little bit. And then week 10, which is this week, Monday the 12th of December 2022, I lost £2. So I'm back on track, which is really good. I've not really got a reflection this week. I went to a party on Saturday. Didn't eat before I went, so I snacked on what was there, which was like party food stuff. I somehow found cucumber and grapes and bread, which is normally okay on fat wise. So yes. So that was that. Then what have we got? I went swimming this morning, did 24 lengths in 35 minutes. That was my record on the 13th of October. The 14th of October I went again. I did 26, so it's creeping up. I did my measurements on the 10th of October. No, the 17th of October. So I should probably do them again just to see. I mean, you'll probably see from the first ever video that I did before I actually started the tablets that I definitely looked fuller in the face. My clothes are getting way too big for me now, which is really good to see. Even my dad said to me, yeah, you do look different. And I was like, whoa, like for a dad to say, that's quite a big thing. So, yeah. 23rd of October, I did 30 lengths in 38 minutes. So I hit my record then. Oh, here we go. So on this same day, I find that I'm hungry all the time, but I'm struggling to eat higher calories, which are in the 15 gram fat allowance. Again, it's just research. You just got to find what works for you. I would say try and eat more. If you're, I mean, my calorie allowance was about 2,000, and I was eating way under that. I was eating 1,200, so that's quite a lot down. And I put some of that feedback in the Facebook group that I mentioned earlier about, and everyone was like, you just need to eat a little bit more. So again, it's finding out how can I bulk up my calories a little bit more without the fat content. So yes. today, on the 10th of November, today was the first day that I came really close to my calories. I was quite hungry, so I had 2 extra bowls of cereal to fill the gap. That obviously helped that day. Our oven was broken, so we was making do with what we could. I did 2 kilometres walk and 30 on the leg press on that day in the gym. Gym's currently closed for refurbishment, so yeah. Then another reflection on the 23rd of November. My blood pressure is coming down. Yay! Because I went to the doctors and this is what sort of triggered everything. They had to up my blood pressure tablets because my blood pressure was just a bit high. The aim is to get off these tablets. I've been on them for so long now. I need to get to a point and a weight where this ain't a problem no more. Then the most recent reflection is quite a long one, guys. Got to say. Oh, I found my notes now, haven't I? Oh, it's like I knew. Okay, I'm on track. So, my reflection on the 5th of December. I've put 2 stone lighter in 9 weeks. I wanted 2 stone off before Christmas and I've achieved that, so I'm really, really pleased. I've put on here that I was having a look on my Samsung health profile on my phone. Back in September 2018, I was weighing in at, and then my weight, I'm not going to share it. This was when I was in a new relationship. I'm still in that relationship 4.5 years later, which is great. So that is where I figured that I put on 3 stone in total in those 4.5 years. I'm now 1 stone, well, just a little bit less than a stone away from getting back to that weight that I was 4.5 years ago. So that is spurring me on. I would like to lose, I don't know, I think I just want to get to a point where I can just buy normal clothes. That would make me really happy. My health obviously is a really important factor. I need to make sure that my body is alright, rather than just like appearance wise. My body needs to be okay. I've put by my birthday, which is the 26th of May, I would like to have lost 3 stone in total, which is just under a stone to go from now. So yeah, so that's like the most recent thing. Christmas is literally next week, and my mum cooks the most fab Christmas dinner, and there's a lot of like nice things to do and have. So because I'm just over now 2 stone lighter, I have decided, only temporarily, that I'm going to stop taking my Orlistat tablets about 3 days before Christmas Day. This, I can't stress this enough. I'm not going back to my old ways. I can't do that because that'll make me ill. I'm only doing this for the pure reason that tablet is out of my system, getting out of my system. I'm guessing it's going to take a couple of days to get out. I don't know. They obviously don't advise you this because it's not advised. And I'm not advising anyone to do this. I'm just saying this is what I'm going to do. I'm still going to follow low fat throughout this whole entire time. I am not at all, dogs barking, by any means going back to what I was. There's no way. That is not a possibility for me. So I'm going to stop taking tablets 3 days before Christmas, so that I can enjoy Christmas Eve, Christmas Day and Boxing Day. Maybe the day after that, because Brett's going to his grandma's in Somerset for Christmas this year, and we're having a separate Christmas together where he'll come here, whatever. So, yes. In between the days that I've stopped taking it and then when I go back on it, I'm going to follow the low fat, apart from Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day. 3 days. Even on Boxing Day, I won't go mad. It's just that if I want to have a handful of crisps or you know what it's like, Christmas, it's all good stuff, then I'm just going to have it. It's 3 days out of the year. I've worked bloody hard to lose this 2 stone, and let me tell you, I'm not planning to put it back on. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Then 3 days after Christmas, maybe 4, depending on like what happens, I am going to follow the low fat still, then take my tablets again. So I think I mentioned earlier that before I started taking the tablets, I did like a 3-day period where I ate lower fat to get my body prepared for these tablets. So yes, that is my plan. And like I say, Christmas is next week, so really just want to enjoy it. It's been a bit of a shitty year. So, yeah, I just want to get all festive and Christmassy and just, yeah. A couple of things that have been getting me through, I'm going to say, is hot chocolates. Instant hot chocolates. So I did like a little hot chocolate mission where I was trying to find the best instant hot chocolate that I could. And McDonald's were coming through with the hot chocolates. They were about 4 or 5 grams of fat per one. So quite a lot to have with your meal to sacrifice from your actual meal time. The Galaxy one is trash. Don't even bother. I mean, try it by all means, but this is my verdict. Galaxy, trash. Options, also a bit trash. Cadbury's, absolute winner by a long shot. I have been loving them, especially on these cold nights and cold mornings. I think they're, again, don't quote me on this, things could change, but I think at the moment for a serving is 2.9 grams of fat, which is about 28 grams of the hot chocolate powder and 200 millilitres of water, which I don't know if anybody has an Emma Bridgewater mug. It's a very specific mug but this is about, I mean, up to here probably. So 200 ml in a cup like this is going to give you a really nice hot chocolate that doesn't taste like water. I found the Options ones and the Galaxy one just weren't chocolatey. So that's one of the things that have been getting me through, especially when I've really craved something sweet. Especially as it's cold, because it's been snowing. It snowed yesterday, which wasn't forecast. So, yeah. And that was also bumping my calories up, because they're about 100 calories each. So just be careful. Do your research. And just don't go over 15 grams of fat. That's my best advice. If you do start a serious weight loss journey, do a little diary. I just think, if you maybe, I'm not trying to preach like, write a food diary, write an SAS log, like that Slimming Club that we don't talk about. But it's just good to look back on, for me, because I know this is something that is a lifestyle thing for me. This is not like a quick fix like the rest of the times it would be. So yeah, that's why I've done this, so that I can share my journey with people. I might even put this video on private. I don't know who I think I'm trying to be. I'm not trying to be a vlogger. I'm not, or maybe I am. Do you know what? Who cares? I can be what I want to be. And I say a lot, that I've noticed, which is really bloody annoying. But take the tablets, do a diary if you feel like it, write down your weight loss, do your measurements. Don't eat more than 15 grams of fat. I cannot express this enough. Don't fucking do it. So yeah, that is me. My name's Ellie, if you didn't catch it in the first time. And this might be a success, this video. It might not. Nobody might see it. However, I just want to do it mainly for me. But also, if you're watching, whoever you are, hi. If you're watching, there might be no one watching. But you can do this. Be kind to your mind. Your mind is very powerful. And don't beat yourself up. You know, if you have a rogue day, you have a rogue day. But get the hell back on it, because you'll shit yourself otherwise. Anyway, I'm going to go. If you listened, thanks. If not, whatever. Bye.